Hello girls. Okay, I'm in my back room, which is normally my laundry, and this time of year it becomes my honey room. And so anyway, there was a lot of preparation involved. First of all, I had to empty it of a hell of a lot of shit, and then I needed to clean it, make sure dust free, lots of hot water, no products that can leave a residue smell or toxicity. Anyway, so let me explain to you things that I have in here. As you can see in front of you, there's a lot of frames. They're the ones I collected the other day, Sunday to be exact, or Tuesday. I've had them, put them on this rack, which as you can see, is rather homemade. Underneath there's a couple of supers as well on a pallet. The idea here, and there's even some which are looking kind of floppy, they fell over. The idea here is that I've been wanting to make sure that they're dry enough. There was a lot of the frames which are 100% capped, and then there was some that was not entirely capped. Capped one side and not the other side, etc. So you may remember that for honey to be really called honey, it has to have a humidity level less than 20%. Normally it's around 18% is good, 17, 18 is good. If it's more, like if it's closer to the 20 or more, then there's a risk of fermentation. It means the honey wasn't finished. It means there was too much liquid uncapped honey that went into the jars, and it was because the bees hadn't finished doing their job. So you don't want that, obviously. And so for one thing, for the selection of frames is very important, and then two, if you've got any doubts, waiting another 24, 48 hours with the dehumidifier is a good thing. Honey is like a sponge. Okay, it will absorb the moisture in the air here if this was not an enclosed room with a dehumidifier. At this time of year, the normal humidity level of the air is around about 60%. The frames of honey would absorb moisture if they were just left at that level. In this room, which is closed with the dehumidifier running full blast, continuously, we're probably down to 40% in here, and so it's sucking moisture, which is what I wanted. The other thing, smells and so on. So I've showered this morning. I never wear perfumes. I don't wear deodorant that has an odor or anything like that. So personal smells is good, and as I said, cleaning the room, make sure there's no smells. I'm obviously not doing my laundry in here anymore for a week. Okay, everything's been taken out, dirty washing, the whole bit. We're talking clean, odorless place. Well, it's not odorless now. It is full of the smell of honey and propolis and frames and everything. So what else have we got in here? This big box here, that is called a maturator. That one's 100 liters, stainless steel. So when we put all the honey, we put it in there, we leave it to mature for at least 3 days. Any debris that's left, and we're talking microparticles, that will go to the top, and I will skim that off before then using the little tap here to fill up the pots of honey. But before we get to that, we'll swing over here. We have the extractor. Okay, we're talking manual here. It's got, you can get a little electrical machine to go on that to help you, but I don't personally find spinning the wheel that hard of a problem. It's the rest. So anyway, inside here, we've got room for 4 frames. They go vertically like this, and I'm actually going back to front in this explanation, I realise. But the frames go in here. Once they've been decapped, then you spin the wheel very fast, and basically you're using centrifugal force to pull the honey out of the cells. So and then obviously it all drips down, and then when it comes out of this tap, I've got a double mesh sieve, which will strain any particles of wax and so on like that, so it's already filtered when it comes through. I will show you that as it's happening a little bit later. Over here we have where we do the decapping. So nice big long knife here, flat knife to cut off, and also these sort of spoke things to also get off when it's a little bit more uneven. I use this method of, oops, you still there? Sorry, you flicked out of the camera. Oops, not very professional there. Anyway, I use this gauze as an extra sort of filtering the wax that gets cut off. It will fall into this very fine meshed gauze before falling into the tub, which has got a sort of also another, well, let's say filter, big filter, and then underneath it's a back. This is not my favorite piece. It's it was expensive, but it wasn't very well conceived. There's lots of nooks and crannies for the honey to get into. Anyway, so that's pretty much the equipment. I might have mentioned to you that when I collect the honey, I bring it down in plastic tubs, food grade tubs. That way I'm bringing down the honey without the bees. And then when I'm finished with the frames, they'll go back into the tubs, and I'll take them back up to the mountain for the bees to lick them clean, and so on. So okay, that's it for now, and I'll show you in action a little bit better.